Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I will be your host this morning, Ed Montana. My co-host alongside me today, my brother, Alex. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
Dad? Dad?
So, just a little behind the fourth wall, right? We have a TV here in my office / studio / home. And the Tour de France is playing. And Alex is not a cycling aficionado. And a guy almost fell, or they were showing a guy that fell or something like that. And Alex says,
Oh, what's the worst injury ever in Tour de France? Right? What's the worst injury ever that happened?
to which I responded, death. Dislocated brain.
That's crazy. And who would have thought that? That would be like the worst injury
I mean,
that you can't come back from
no.
at Tour de France.
There are some guys that have injuries that they don't come back from, and there are some guys that have injuries that they just don't come back.
I have a feeling that's an overreaction.
That's a bit much, don't you think? I mean, these guys are insane. I mean, they go, they climb up these ridiculously steep mountains, and then they get on the other side and go downhill 40, 45 miles an hour, and sometimes it's raining or whatever. They don't give a shit. There they are in their freaking spandex flying down this goddamn mountain.
Yeah, they're nuts. Fuck that.
There was one the other day. They were on a descent, and it had been raining before that. So on those roads, those French roads, they're not great. So when it rains a little, the oil that cars drop kind of comes to the top. So it becomes super slick. And this guy on a turn was being, and the announcer said, man, they're being awfully aggressive coming down this mountain. And on a turn, his bike started fishtailing, and he went face first into a street sign. The bike broke in half. Usually they're like tucked down.
Right.
He sat up as he's trying to get the damn thing back on the road, but it wasn't. I mean, he beelined straight into a street sign, a stop sign or some shit, or a speed limit sign or something. His face smack into the sign. The bike broke in half. You know what he did? He got a new bike and got back on it and finished the day. These guys are crazy tough.
Fuck. Sounds like a pretty dangerous... I'm not going to say it's a sport. Event? Sounds like a dangerous event.
Why wouldn't it be a sport?
I don't consider cycling a sport. I don't know.
Why not?
Because, you're just sitting there pedaling and,
Do you consider golf a sport?
No.
Bowling?
No.
Tennis?
No. Yeah. There's a lot of moving going on, there's stamina involved. And
I've always said that the difference between a sport and whatever else you want to call it, event, competition, whatever. In a sport, you can directly influence what your opponent is doing. Right? So golf is not a sport because I can hit a hole in one and then you can turn around and do the same thing and it makes no difference, right?
Right.
Cycling is not a sport because I can ride my bike really fast and it won't stop you from riding your bike really fast. What else? Bowling. I can bowl a 300. You can bowl a 300. Same game. We end up tied, right?
Yeah.
So what I do doesn't directly influence. Whereas tennis, I hit a ball that you can't reach.
Well, so you agree with me?
I guess I do. Shut up!
That's a first.
I just wanted to give you my theory on sport, not sport.
No, I think that's a very good theory. That's why I said what I said.
You don't think cycling is a sport?
That's right. What is a sport is football.
Oh, and we finally kicked off the football season. It was a week later than usual, right? Am I right about that, or am I wrong?
No, I think it started on time.
I felt like it was a week later. I don't know why. Maybe because it's
Might have
already the
been.
15th,
Might
right?
have been.
But anyway, so normally we do overreaction Monday after the first week of the season.
That's right.
We had a lot of stuff going on yesterday, plus 2 Monday night games, so we couldn't do the podcast yesterday, so we decided to do it today. So it's overreaction Tuesday today, or overreaction of week 1.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
give me your first overreaction.
The Washington football team's gonna win the Super Bowl. I mean, they're 1-0. They're the only undefeated team in the fucking NFC East.
I mean, they've got the NFC East by the balls right now.
Yeah,
They're
going
with no
to,
name.
They're with no name.
Maybe that's
The
what's
no
been
name.
holding them down the last few years is the name.
Possibly the no name Super Bowl champions.
What are they gonna like? Yeah, how's that gonna look on
I don't
the
know.
Lombardi Trophy?
Yeah, seriously.
Not that they actually put the names on the trophy, but. Now, you had an interesting comment about that game. The Eagles had a big lead. Tell me what you told me yesterday about that game compared to last year.
Yeah, the Redskins had a 17-point lead on the Eagles in week 1.
Yeah.
And the Eagles came back and won. And if I'm not mistaken, the score was similar, either 21-17 or 24-17.
That's incredible.
And it
what are
happened.
the odds, right, of that happening?
Yeah. So
the Eagles have to be feeling like crap. Because, look, you start off the season against the Washington football team, you're thinking you're starting the season 1-0, right?
I mean, we did.
Right. Kind of like the Bills. The Bills saw the Jets on the schedule. They said, we're going to start the season 1-0.
And they did.
And they did. The Colts saw the Jacksonville Jaguars on the schedule for week 1. They thought they were going to start the season 1-0, and they did not.
Yes.
They did not.
They did not.
They did not. It did not happen.
I know.
It did not happen for them.
I'll tell you what's not an overreaction is fucking Chase Young. That kid is a fucking... I mean, he was a beast before. We knew it. But, I mean, now that he's in an NFL professional uniform on and
he looks like the real
holy
deal.
shit. I mean, he looked pretty... that guy is fucking huge, man. I mean, we knew that coming out of college, right?
You always... you've got the guys that coming out of college you think are going to be that way, right? But you always have a little bit of doubt, right? The game is faster and blah, blah, blah. And you have guys that kind of don't quite pan out that way, right? But this guy...
Yeah, they look good.
Looks every bit of the part.
What was your overreaction?
Well, it's obvious that Tom Brady's a piece of shit quarterback, and the only reason he won any Super Bowls is because of Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more.
He threw a pick six and lost the game against New Orleans. And, the Patriots looked pretty good against the Miami Dolphins. So, obviously, Tom Brady is caca, and Bill Belichick's a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what everyone was talking about the minute Tom Brady signed with Tampa Bay? Isn't that what everyone wants to do with this? And I promise you, every week is going to be the same thing. Next week, Cam Newton's going to look like crap, and they're going to lose, and people are going to be like, oh, Tom Brady wouldn't have looked that bad, so I guess Bill Belichick isn't that great of a coach. And next week, Tom Brady's going to throw 4 touchdown passes with no interceptions at a 75% completion rate, and they're going to win by 14, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, see, Tom Brady was the one that those Super Bowls wouldn't have happened without Tom Brady. That's what people want to do with this. I think it's bullshit, but that's what people want to do with it. And, I'm going to feed into it.
I'll be honest with you. I thought I would hear that because I agree with you. Heck, I would probably even do it too at some point this season. But I haven't heard that yet. Like I've watched a bit of TV here the past few days, and I really haven't heard that yet, which is I find it kind of odd.
Yeah.
So. But I'm sure we'll hear it a little bit down the road. I'm not gonna overreact on Cam Newton and the Patriots just yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not an overreaction on my part. I can say it. The Patriots are going to be good with Cam Newton because I said it before the season started. People were like, "Oh, the Patriots are done now because they don't have a quarterback." I think Cam Newton's a good quarterback. I think Bill Belichick's a great coach. I think together they can make things happen, and Did I pick the Patriots to win the East? No, I picked the Bills, but I picked the Patriots as a wild card. And look, I think the Patriots are gonna be the real deal. Are they gonna be a Super Bowl contender? Maybe, maybe not. It's tough to say, especially in the AFC when you have to go through Baltimore and Kansas City. But the Patriots are not gonna be 4-12.
No, no, absolutely not. But
That's for the
I'm not
Jets.
gonna, I'm not gonna overreact on, because I don't know if Cam Newton can stay healthy for the whole season. So we'll see what happens. It's a long season.
Yeah.
It's
No, I agree with that.
this is probably like the worst time. Like, I hate being on Twitter after like the first week. It's so toxic because you have like just people saying like the craziest shit, and writing teams off or saying this team's gonna go to the Super Bowl or whatever, and I don't know. I don't like it.
You mean like saying that the Washington football team is going to win the Super Bowl?
Well, obviously that's an overreaction. I'm just
What other overreactions do we have?
49ers lost. Are you overreacting on that?
I didn't think that you. I don't think I had them making the playoffs.
You don't. You have them making the playoffs.
I do.
You do. You have 3 teams out of the. See, I'm not overreacting on the 49ers losing, because I think that's a better division than maybe what most think. I think the Cardinals are improved. Obviously, the Rams. I think it's just a tough division. You got Seattle in there too. All those teams won except the fucking 49ers.
Yeah, it's one of the things that's kind of weird about this last week is, we saw some things that kind of make you go, yeah, it's the same old, right? The Cowboys, I think, are, the team to beat in the NFC East. And, they played like... They played like the team that I described a couple years ago, where they're gonna win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. That's what they played like. And Mike McCarthy, with the bonehead decision to not kick the field goal to tie the game, it's like,
I'm telling you, he's cross-eyed, bro. Look at him. Pull up a picture of Mike McCarthy. I swear he's cross-eyed.
what does that have to do with anything?
He doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at.
You think that's the way that cross-eyed thing works?
No,
Okay.
I don't. But in his case, yeah, he's special.
That was a boneheaded thing. What else? The Texans and the Chiefs opened up the season on Thursday night. Again, no surprise there. The Texans are going to be that Texans team was the worst 10-6 team we're going to see this season.
Twitter was overreacting with the David Johnson shit, was it not? I mean, come on. The guy, he looked really good in the first quarter or the first drive or whatever the fuck it was. Scored a touchdown. And oh my God, they won the fucking D-Hop trade.
Well, to be fair, up until that point, DeAndre Hopkins hadn't done anything. So
True. Good point. Good point.
Got to give the Texans credit on that trade right there.
Yeah, like I think, right, like to what you were saying, some things don't change. The Jets looked fucking horrible. The Lions, did you see how
the Jets need to go back into quarantine.
and not come back out?
Yeah, they need to. They need like a spread of coronavirus so that they could just forfeit all of their games.
They need some mono.
Yeah, because ain't nobody want to watch that.
That's again, that doesn't change the Lions. Did you see how the Lions lost?
Oh my goodness.
DeAndre Swift. I mean, Stafford, who I thought, by the way, correction. I need to be corrected. I thought he opted out.
I thought so too because his wife was sick.
His wife, yeah, I thought he opted out. So
he opted out.
My bad on that.
But he's back, right?
He's back, yeah. I mean, he couldn't have thrown DeAndre Swift a more perfect pass. He's looking at the ball. Just dropped it in the end zone, and the Bears came away with the win. Who else?
Let's see.
By the way, A-Rod looked fucking great. Aaron Rodgers looked fucking great.
He did.
He looked pretty good. I'm okay,
it's a long season. Let's not overreact.
Yeah. Now, I was surprised at that result. Number one, I was surprised at such high scoring, and they pretty much dominated that game from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, the difference ended up being 9 at the end. But that game, it felt like the Packers were in full control. We're going to win that game from the jump. And Kirk Cousins didn't look great.
No, but see, but that game right there is a good game to overreact on. Like, I don't think the Vikings are that bad.
You don't think they're gonna go 0-16?
If I had to put a penny on it, no.
I wonder what the odds are on that.
On what?
On them going 0-16.
On them? Oh, there's probably no odds.
Yeah, probably not.
Now on the Browns, nothing changes there, right? The Browns look flat as can be.
Yeah.
I mean, they played a good fucking team, but
Yeah,
still,
but
6 points.
Here's what I don't understand. You've been working all off season, right? Your game plan for game one, offensively speaking, is probably the best game plan you could possibly make, right? Because you've had time to prepare, you've practiced it. There's no rush. There's no, injuries are to a minimum. So I don't understand teams that absolutely cannot move the ball on offense.
Right.
The first week of the season, and the Browns looked awful. I mean,
look, I'm not
6 points.
Yeah. I'm not saying the Browns are going to, make the playoff. I hope I didn't say that. Yeah, I did not say that. I'm not saying the Browns are going to make the playoffs and they're going to fucking put up, average 30 points a game. But you got Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham on each side of the field. Like,
right.
One of them has to be open. They're both not going to be double teamed.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. And the other thing too, right, is they've got a bit of a running game, right? They have running backs. So where is the breakdown in that team? Is it the offensive line? Is it the coaching? I mean,
that's what I was gonna say.
Or is it Baker Mayfield?
It's got to be the coaching and the fucking play calling, or Baker.
I mean, Baker Mayfield, 21 of 39 for 189 yards, a touchdown, and interception. Yeah, that's not going to cut it, man.
No.
That's just not going to cut it. And they've got Kareem Hunt. They've got Nick Chubb. They ran for 150 yards, 138 yards. They've got some offense, but so it's got to be the offensive line. It's a mess. It's absolutely a mess. And Lamar Jackson had a stellar game. Lamar Jackson looks better and better every time out, I swear. 20 of 25 for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. That's a pretty good day. That's a pretty efficient day right there.
Yeah.
80% completion rate.
Now, actually, here's my real overreaction. Did you see the linebacker from the Lions, Jamie Collins, get thrown out for headbutting, not headbutting, take that back, for coming into contact with the referee?
No.
So Jamie Collins got called for a foul, right, or a penalty or whatever. He goes up to the ref. He's kind of showing him what he was doing in the play, and I didn't see the play, but he kind of bends down like that, right? Lowers his head a little bit, and to me, so as he's coming up, he makes contact with the referee. The rule's the rule. I understand, but if we look at that replay again with the referee, it kind of looks like the fucking referee. Number one, he barely fucking touches him, okay? And it looks almost like the referee doesn't, not that he lunges forward, but he raises his arm to initiate the contact with the linebacker. I thought that was a soft ass play or call, and it's look, man.
The way you're describing
bro. I understand the rules are the rules. That's fucking fine, but there was no intent there from the fucking. It's no different than the fucking tennis play. Come on, man. That's fucking bullshit. That's a weak ass call, man.
Alex,
I understand it. The rule's the rule. I understand.
You go down a very slippery slope if you try to officiate or make calls based on intent.
Yeah, but yeah, nah. I mean, it was pretty weak. Just like the Djokovic
He
tennis.
almost killed that lady.
Fuck that, man. That's bullshit, bro.
He almost killed her.
Nah.
We almost had death against an official.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I don't know. It to me, the linebacker didn't, pick up his head into the referee. He was really showing him what he was doing. And then the ref kind of lifted his arm, and as he lifted his arm and the linebacker was coming up, that's when contact. So you got to see it. I think it was pretty weak, if you ask me. But whatever.
Yeah, no. Look, there's some calls that are weaker than others, and some are, some are absolutely, correct, and some are not. Some are very easy, and some are not. But at the end of the day,
I guess we can overreact on some fucking offensive pass interference too. Like the one on the Cowboys, that seemed a little upset. I mean,
Jalen Ramsey with his best soccer player impersonation.
Someone said he looked like Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. Well, he looked like Neymar. I mean, that was first rate acting. Okay, so we're watching the video of the Lions.
So, see. So they'll show it from a different. They'll show it from a different angle. No, when you watch, look at his arm.
Well, he already hit him at that point.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Alex,
right here, this angle.
You're wrong, Alex.
No.
He hits him before he even lifts his arm.
I don't know.
The ref actually.
I feel like the referee pops his belly out, and that's what I mean. That was. It's kind of weak, man.
No.
To me, in my opinion,
no,
it's weak.
Look, your opinion is dead wrong on that.
It can't be. It's an opinion.
Yeah,
so
you're dead wrong.
My opinion is never wrong.
Your opinion is also that 1 + 1 is 3, which is why you failed math because you were wrong.
Well, this has nothing to do with fucking math. I mean, my fucking eyes are looking at something.
Yeah, no, that's to me that one's easy. That one's as easy as the Djokovic one, because Djokovic almost gave that woman death.
Yeah.
Death. Let's see what else. How long before Tua starts in Miami? I mean, it's got to be 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it can't be too much longer. Oh, you know who looked good? I thought on the weekend. The Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders look good. That game, they only won by 4, and it was against the Panthers, so I think people are kind of poo-pooing it as whatever. But remember, it's tough for those West Coast teams to play the early game on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, to me, that 34-30 win looks pretty darn good. Offensively, they look good. Teddy Bridgewater looked good for Carolina. Yeah.
They were going back and forth.
That was a good game all the way around. Christian McCaffrey does what Christian McCaffrey does, right? Gets a bunch of yards, catches, running the ball, it does it all. So, that's the way that goes. So that was a good game. I think the season looks bright for the Raiders. I really do. They look like they're the real deal.
Whoa.
Look,
overreaction Monday.
No. I'm not saying they're going to win the West, but they look like the real deal. They look like the kind of team that's going to...
You didn't even have them in the playoffs.
I didn't?
No.
But that's only because I thought the Colts are going to be good.
They are. They're just, it's.
Apparently not. They're on track to go 0-16.
KOD, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Did you kill them with that?
I killed them. I killed Marlon Mack, who's done for the season.
That's huge for them.
They got a decent backup.
That's huge in a bad way.
Yeah. No, it's obviously it's going to hurt. But and Phillip Rivers looked like Phillip Rivers. I mean, his fucking dinosaur arms. He's got these T-Rex arms. God, he fucking sucks.
That guy, he's...
I mean...
He's not a young guy.
No. I mean, but even when he was young, he was never that good. He wasn't that good. He wasn't that good. He throws a lot of interceptions, bro.
He does, and he seems to
And
throw
bad times.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he seems to throw them at the most critical times.
Yeah. So the Colts. So are we overreacting on the Colts? I think they're. I mean, I don't know. There could be some concern.
I am concerned. I'm concerned about the Marlon Mack injury. I think that's a big deal.
And the quarterback. Like, what do you do?
And Rivers, right? But here's the thing: if Rivers doesn't work out 2 or 3 weeks into the season, they have a very capable backup, right? Jacoby Brissett is a he did well last year, and he knows the offense. He's a good quarterback, so I'm less concerned about the quarterback situation than I am the running situation.
If that happens, that Phillip Rivers gets benched for Brissett.
Yeah.
If I'm Brissett, I'm fucking pissed. I want out. Because I mean, how many years, how many seasons in a row are you going to deny me of this starting job?
Well, my guess is if they bring him in, it will be his job.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers they will either ship him out or he will be a good soldier and be a backup.
Yeah.
He'll be a good dude and carry the clipboard. That may be one of those things where they drop him all the way down to third string, right? Like they make him the emergency quarterback just to make sure that Jacoby Brissett knows that it's his team and he goes from there. I can't imagine that they go back to Phillip Rivers at any point unless Brissett gets hurt.
I think Rivers would make a very good clipboard holder just because he's got the short arms and he doesn't have to extend.
I think I would be a very good clipboard holder as well.
I would be too. I mean,
No.
you pay me $25 million. I'll fucking shine cleats.
I disagree. I don't think you'd be good at it. I would. You would not. I don't think there's a job for you in the NFL, Alex.
For $25 million, I'll fucking spit shine cleats.
I would do it for 20, and that's why you're not as good as me. You're not as valuable as me.
What else?
The Giants, the Steelers. The Giants are another team that it kind of looked like more of the same. Daniel Jones looked good at times, made some mistakes. I realize it's the beginning of his second season. Those mistakes need to get cleaned up. Certainly, if we're talking about these kinds of mistakes again next season, at the start of his third season, or even towards the end of this season, we've got a problem, right? But I thought there was a critical juncture of that game. The Giants are driving down the field. It was a 9-minute drive or something ridiculous like that?
19 plays.
19 plays. I mean, they were hammering the ball. And, he rolls out. He's got a Steeler breathing down his neck, and he decides he's going to try to throw it anyway. And my guess is, because of all the people on that side of the field, he was trying to throw it out of the back of the end zone. But they hit his arm. It floated up in the air. It got intercepted. And that was pretty much the game. To me, that's the mistake you can't make at all. You just can't do it. That ball goes to the sideline. You tuck it and take the 2-yard sack, or you just run out of bounds and take a 2-yard loss. But you don't, that misjudging of the speed of the game, he's got to fix that. I mean, that he can't make that mistake. And at that juncture, it was huge, because I really believe that if the Giants score a touchdown there, which every indication was that they were going to, the way they were moving the ball and punishing that Steeler defense, they score a touchdown there, I think they win that football game. It was late in the third quarter,
right.
And then after that, the wheels kind of fell off.
Yeah.
So there's some bright spots there, right? They were in the game, and the Steelers very much made the commitment to stopping the run. They said, right. Saquon Barkley's not going to beat us. If you're going to beat us, it's going to be on the arm of Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones couldn't do it. Okay, I understand. No big deal. But there is a positive there that they put that pressure on him to win the game. The Steelers did. And he responded, kept them in the game, made the critical mistake at one point, so the Steelers' game plan worked. But at least they were in it for a while. They didn't get their doors blown off.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think both those interceptions were Daniel Jones' fault. Uh,
Oh,
you
the
know, Dupree hit his hand. I mean, yeah, he probably could have thrown it, towards the sideline. But who's to say that Dupree wouldn't have had, hit his arm and the ball would have went the other way, right? And then on the first
just tucked it.
interception, T.J. Watt made a good play. It looked like he was coming all the way, and then he ended up fucking just dropping back. And I mean, he threw it right to
Right.
his hand. So, you know, Danny Jones played all right. The Giants still have a lot of work to do, and I mean, and,
Yeah.
and look, this is it's. I thought that drive was impressive. Points or no points,
Very
obviously,
impressive. I agree.
but against that Steelers defense that gives you a lot of
Yeah.
different looks, has good cornerbacks, T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree. That's a good defense still.
I know. I
That
I
was
agree with you. That's one of the big positives I take from that game was that drive because that shows the offensive line is there. And you're right. That Steeler defense is formidable. People aren't going to be putting up 35 and 40 points against the Steelers. So
no, not this
I
season.
thought there was a lot of positives to take away from that.
And then the Giants are a really young team. They got a young secondary.
Yep.
So I'm not going to overreact on the Steelers' offense. I think their defense is definitely for real. But their offense, I think when they play a more seasoned team, like if
Mm-hmm.
they have to play the fucking Patriots, I don't think they'll be, I don't think Juju will be getting open like that. But I was happy to see Big Ben back because I really like Big Ben. I think
Good
he's
dude.
he's at he's in the back nine right now, and so to see him come back from injury, I think it was really good to watch him play football again. I'm sure he enjoyed playing football and winning the game. So
Right.
good to see him back.
I'll tell you what's not an overreaction, and it's early, but man, from a distance you can see that a Chiefs Saints Super Bowl would be the bomb. Both of those offenses look great. the Saints the Saints didn't even use Michael Thomas, who had 115 catches last year. Barely used him. Caught three balls on Sunday, and they still put up 34 points. They look like such a serious contender, and the Chiefs obviously, they're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl, and they did nothing to make us think otherwise on Thursday night. That offense, I mean, that running back that they got from LSU, Edwards. I mean,
Oh
looks
yeah,
like he fits right in, and I mean,
yeah.
they've got so many weapons all over that field at tight end, at wide receiver, running back, and obviously Patrick Mahomes. That offense looks like it's going to be unstoppable.
And as I look through the box score here, Drew Brees didn't even have his best day throwing. 18 for 30, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that's not great to his standards, right?
Right.
But again, I think this is a lot has to do with Sean Payton, man. Sean Payton has a really open playbook. I mean, Taysom Hill threw some passes back there. Like they ran Wildcat. He caught like for all the flack that he gets, and he's getting paid quite a bit of money, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he seems to fit Sean Payton's playbook because it's so open. Like everybody gets touches, and Alvin Kamara looked like he didn't lose a step. I think he scored 2 touchdowns
Yeah.
on Sunday. So, and I didn't realize they had Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook
Yeah.
at tight end and Sanders at wide receiver. So I mean, the weapons are there for.
Yeah, they're loaded. They're loaded.
It's
And-
gonna be tough.
and
But
you know-
every season we say this and they fall short, right? I mean, they haven't gone to the Super Bowl since 2009,
They get
right?
screwed over by the refs.
True. That's what every Saints fan would say, and I kind of agree. But no, they seem to just hit a wall at some point in the playoffs, and
Yeah, no, for sure. The playoffs has been their kryptonite the last couple of years. I will say this: the other thing I really like about Sean Payton is Sean Payton does not take his foot off the gas
Right.
at any point. They scored that touchdown to go up 31-17, I think it was. So they're up 2 touchdowns. I want to say early fourth quarter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the fourth quarter. Early fourth quarter. The Buccaneers got a penalty, so they were kicking. It was added on to the ensuing kickoff, so they're kicking from the 50. And instead of doing what every other NFL team does, was like, oh yeah, we're kicking off from the 50, we're gonna put it through the back of the end zone, and let's go. He decided to kind of pooch kick it. Mm-hmm. 2 Tampa Bay players collided. The ball ended up dropping to the ground, and the Saints recovered it, and they ended up scoring a field goal on that. But again, that constant pressure that whether you're ahead or behind, you're going to have to play him for 60 minutes because he's not going to stop. Yeah. And I love that about Sean Payton, and I love that about that team. And there's a small part of me that is rooting for them this year because they have been kind of screwed in the playoffs a few times, and they have been good for a long time. And Drew Brees is one of the true good guys in the NFL, and he's been a hell of a player for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And, I think...
That's why
from a distance, looks like a collision course. They're on a collision course with the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's why I said in our preview show that I think this is still the Saints division. On paper, the Bucs obviously look better, right? A lot better, but it sometimes it doesn't always translate on the field. You know what I mean? And so when you have in that case that you just brought up where he decided to pooch kick. He knows, and now he would have done that probably if it was against the Browns. But he knows if Tom Brady has a chance, they could come back. So I think just naturally how he keeps his foot on the gas will pay off at the end for when they battle for the division.
Yeah.
So.
Well, man, I think we have touched just about it. The Seahawks look great. The Falcons look terrible. Dan Quinn still has a job.
What the fuck? He should be fired today.
No.
Right after this show.
No. You think he gets fired this year?
No.
You thought he got fired like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. Absolutely. He should have gotten fired after it was 28-3 in the Super Bowl. I hope he gets fired. I don't care. Yeah. At this point, it's whatever.
The Seahawks looked really good. There's another team that I like out west.
Well, yeah.
In the NFC, I should say.
Again, when teams like Pittsburgh, Patriots, New Orleans, the Packers, these teams are the Seahawks. These teams are always going to be in it because there's just one common denominator, And in football, if you don't have a quarterback that can lead, then and obviously all those teams haven't won obviously the Patriots have won the most Super Bowls, right? But all those teams that I just mentioned have won Super Bowls with the quarterbacks.
They all have a great quarterback and a great leader, but they also have good coaching. I mean, it's just if you think about those teams, Mike Tomlin doesn't get the respect he deserves, I think. But I think he's a hell of a coach. Obviously, Bill Belichick, Sean Payton. The Packers had Mike McCarthy for a long time, who I think is a good coach. Now they've got LaFleur, who, obviously he's a work in progress. We don't know exactly what he is just yet. He's in his second season.
Pete Carroll with the Seahawks.
Pete Carroll, who's been doing it forever. That's got to be the youngest looking 80-year-old man I've ever seen. No shit. I mean, that guy looks like he... That guy looks like he could still run out there, right?
He don't have a wrinkle.
Well, he got some wrinkles.
Well, not on his face.
But
he's got him on his ass or his balls, but not his face. His face is pretty fucking clean.
He looks great.
Yeah,
and he's old.
Yeah.
I was joking. I said 80, but I think he's 70.
He's got to be 65 at least.
I think he's over 70.
You think he's over 70?
Yeah, let me look it up. Hold on.
Shit. Yeah, he's got to be... I'd say he's like 64.
I think he's 70.
64.
69.
Damn.
In fact, he just turned 69 today.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Pete Carroll.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy 69th birthday to Pete Carroll.
Damn. Wow. Yeah, he looks pretty good, man.
I mean, he looks great. I'm jealous.
Well.
You got any other NFL stuff you want to talk about?
I think we hit on everything, no?
Just about.
I think we hit on
I mean,
everything.
we didn't talk much about the Jets, but then again, there's not much to talk about.
Yeah, the Jets, you know.
I think the poor Jets are going to be the joke this year.
Joe Burrow looked pretty good.
Yeah, look decent.
Not bad. I mean, for a first game, I mean...
First game, number one pick, all the pressure. They hand him the keys to the car.
Actually, he rallied them back, right?
Yeah, they were down quite a bit. Not quite
and
a bit.
actually, through what would have been the game-winning touchdown, if it wasn't for A.J. Green pushing off, that was an offensive pass interference, I think.
You know, the Chargers won with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback.
I think
he went 16 of 30 for 208 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
It's not a bad line. No interceptions is great.
16 of 30.
Yeah, but you're not
barely 50%.
No, I understand, but you're not turning the ball over.
At least he's
usually when you're 16 for 30, there's probably an interception there.
Yeah. 16 for 30 with no interceptions. At least you're not turning the ball over and you're making your punter work a lot.
That's right.
Which is, better than turning the ball over.
True.
Joe Burrow was 23 of 36, 193 yards, one interception.
See?
Not bad. His completion percentage is over 60. That's good. Not a whole lot of yards. I'm sure they're still working out the playbook for him because it's, the change. They've probably simplified the playbook a little bit for him, and he's gonna have to.
I think the Bengals will be in good hands because I mean their coach wasn't he the Texas Tech coach? Like this fucking high.
No, that's the Arizona coach, Kyle Kingsbury.
Oh, okay.
Kingsbury.
Is
that who you're thinking of?
Yeah, Zach Taylor. Where the fuck did he come from? Do you remember?
I don't know.
No.
Right, I don't know that guy.
I don't know that guy either.
We have a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs. I didn't think this was going to happen.
Me neither.
Like, I thought Denver was going to, peacefully go away in 5 games.
They don't die. They don't believe in death. They don't believe in death. They don't die, bro.
No, they continue to fight. I really thought that they were just going to peacefully go away in 5 games. The Clippers are, I think, one of the better basketball teams. But, Murray and Jokic are just balling those two.
Is Jokic the best center in the NBA?
Is he a center or is he like a forward? What is he?
He's a point forward center.
Shooting guard.
No, he's a point. He's a point forward center.
Point guard?
Not exactly a point guard. But he's
Not
a
exactly
point
a forward.
Right, but that's why he's a point forward. Is he the best center?
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, he kind of does it all, bro.
I mean, in terms of true center, no, right? Joel Embiid is better in terms of being a pure center.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Being a pure center, I think he is.
As much as I hate the fucking 76ers, I think Joel Embiid can be the best center in the NBA, but the fact that he doesn't stay healthy for a long time, I can't pick him.
Right, but in terms of being a center, I think he's a better center than Jokic.
But I understand what you're saying.
I think Jokic is a better player, but I think Embiid is a better center.
Okay, so then Jokic is better than Embiid.
But not as a center. He's not the best center.
Right, and that's what makes him better because he can do so many other things.
Right, but when you're on the court, right, he plays whatever he plays, right? 35 minutes. He plays 35 minutes. Whether he plays them at Joel Embiid plays 35 minutes and Jokic plays 35 minutes. Embiid plays 35 minutes at center. Jokic plays 20 at center and then 10 at forward and 5 at point. And so overall, yeah, he's a better player. But in terms of being a center, I think Embiid is better. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, but I disagree a little bit because Embiid's out there taking fucking 3-pointers and hitting top of the key shots. So like that's not really what I think your traditional center in the NBA is completely gone. Like I don't think it exists anymore. The position, you know what I mean? Like
isn't Anthony Davis the center?
Yeah, but he likes to play forward. Seriously, he likes to play forward.
But again,
that's what I'm saying. Like he should be playing center.
Right. Okay. And
right?
I agree with you. But as a center, he's also better than Jokic. I don't know. The center position has become such a hybrid now that it's very hard to. It's very hard to say he's better or not.
Yeah, I mean, I give the edge to Jokic just because I think he brings a little more. I think he can run the floor a little better, and he also has a point guard he can rely on more, right? Like Ben Simmons is good, but he can't
rely on him.
Can't fucking shoot, right?
Right.
So
he doesn't.
He's a little one-dimensional. You know what I mean?
He doesn't help you create space
in
the lane or around the lane for you to do what you have to do.
Yeah,
which is a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Who wins tonight? Because the Clippers have proven that they can get up by 20 points, and they've also blown twice. This would be a hard game to bet. I wouldn't know which way to bet.
I think it's easy. You bet the Clippers all day long.
Money line.
Yeah, because
I think they win.
Well, in a game 7, I don't even look at the spread. If I was betting, I wouldn't even look at the spread on a game 7 because game 7s are kind of wonky that way. But as far as winning, look, I just can't imagine Kawhi Leonard is gonna let another one slip away.
I'll say this.
I think they're gonna win.
I think the Nuggets won the second game, or did the Nuggets win the first game of that series?
Second game, I think.
They smothered the fuck out of Kawhi Leonard. I was really impressed with how Denver defended him in that second game. If they got to do that again and make Paul George beat you, right? Paul George is kind of playing better, but I feel like he's not all the way there yet.
Right.
Make his ass beat you.
I think even if they try to smother Kawhi Leonard, the cream rises to the top, and in big games, Kawhi Leonard will come through.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know,
just my
man.
gut feeling.
I don't know. That's I hope we get a good game 7.
I think we will. Game 7s are always great. I love Game 7.
Not always. Sometimes they're like that. I think the home team wins here. The Clippers are the home team.
Yeah, but there's no real home.
Well, they're wearing their fucking home jerseys. Yeah. They're the home team. They're on the bottom.
Home. Now in the age of bubbles and limited spectators, home field advantage is worthless. The only place the only place that home has an advantage is in hockey, because you get last change and the face-off works in your favor a little bit. But in basketball and football, it's just not a big deal at this point. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the Clippers win tonight. If I'm not mistaken, the Heat and Celtics series starts tonight as well.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to this series. You got Jimmy Buckets on one side, Jason Tatum, and that young. We keep calling them young, but they look like they've pretty much come of age. That Celtics team. I'm looking forward to it. They are good, and I'm looking forward to this matchup. I think it's going to be very, very interesting all the way around.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, but I got a feeling we're going to be let down. I think the fucking Celtics are going to put the clamps on the Heat.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think, that's also a young team, that hasn't really played together. Jimmy Buckets is going to get buckets, but then, these other guys around him are still pretty young, and I don't know, man. I think the fucking Celtics are going to put the clamps on
If I had to bet on it, I would pick the Celtics to win the series, but I don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. To me, this has 7 games written all over it, and I'm looking forward to it because this feels like one of those series where even if the Celtics or the Heat win 4-0, every single game is going to come down to the last 3 minutes, and it's going to be a nail biter at the end.
Yeah.
And one team may, do better at crunch time 4 times in a row and win. Not likely, but it could happen.
Right.
But I think all of the games will be that way. And that's what makes me think that we're going to see a 7-game series, and I am very much looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying watching the Celtics play. It's a dynamic team. They're a very dynamic team, and defensively, they're better than I thought they would be.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Jaylen Brown is really turning into an excellent defender. Like, I mean, he's
beast.
Yeah, he's really good. I think the Celtics take care of the Heat. So, looking forward to that.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. So
whoever wins that goes to the finals, right?
Yep.
Okay.
The Lakers are waiting for the winner of the Clippers Nuggets series. Go ahead, say your piece.
What? Oh well, I got Clippers, fucking Celtics all day.
No, about the Lakers and how they beat the Rockets, and the Rockets are trash. James Harden sucks, and
I just said it for me.
Say
Mike D'Antoni is not a championship winning head coach.
Go ahead and do all the Rockets bashing that you like to do.
I don't have to.
If there's one thing,
I don't have to because
one thing I can count on any day of the week and twice on Sunday is you bashing the Rockets.
Yes, check.
Bashing Manfred in baseball.
Check.
Bashing. I can't think of.
See, I don't do that much bashing.
I can't think of you doing any particular bashing in football.
No.
In baseball, it's always Manfred. In basketball, it's always Harden and the Rockets.
That's right.
And I guess you don't watch hockey or soccer.
But I think so.
You don't even bash death in the Tour de France.
That's right. But I think all those are rightfully deserved. I mean, when we look at Manfred and what he's done with baseball, I mean,
again,
and then Harden,
that's an opinion.
And then Harden, what he's done, or what he hasn't done, and D'Antoni and the Rockets, they've, so I think they're well deserved at this point. You know what I mean? So that's all. I mean, I'm just speaking facts, bro. Those are facts. Follow me on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 1 for all my facts on Harden and all the bullshit that you guys want to fucking talk to me about. That Harden is some great NBA player. He's a great scorer, but that's about it. He's not gonna win you a championship. Kobe Bean Bryant already said that. By the way, how cool would it be if the Celtics play the Lakers in the NBA Finals? The Celtics were supposed to draft Kobe Bryant. They brought him in for a fucking draft workout, and he's like, he didn't, he couldn't see himself in a Celtics uniform, right? Obviously, he got drafted by the Hornets, right, and then traded to the Lakers, and in a year where he passes away, and this unusual, circumstance of that would be kind of fucking crazy, like 2009 all over again.
I don't know that the Lakers will make the finals.
I'll say this, man.
Against either one, either the Clippers or the Nuggets, I think give them. Ooh, that's a tough series.
It is, but
either way,
they're shooting the ball a lot better, which going into a series against either of those two teams is very good for them because they were shooting the ball very poor. And then you fucking got LeBron, the greatest, player
right now
on the basketball court right now. Anthony Davis, the best,
great basketball player,
the best center, forward, whatever he is.
Right.
Sometimes that's all you need right there for everybody else to pick up. And you got fucking Rondo who shows up
Playoff Rondo.
every once in a while. He's
Yeah. The only downside to them dispatching of the Rockets as quickly as they did, and this series going 7 games, is the shooting can get cold when you have this much time off. And they need the outside shooting to come through, or they're gonna struggle.
I think it will. Danny Green is too good of a 3-point shooter to be bad for all of the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I think they'll be all right. I got the Clippers, but I think the Lakers. Take
out either one.
I think the Lakers. Yeah, I just want to see Lakers Clippers at this point. That's all I want to see.
The Battle of LA in Florida.
Yeah. Yes.
Alrighty, folks. Well, I think we've come to the end of another wonderful episode of the Positive Sports Podcast. As always, if you want to reach out to us, you can email the show, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of me, you can do so on Twitter @emontana21. Alex already told you can get a hold of him and his hardline facts @BrooklynGaucho1 on Twitter as well. Any parting shots?
No, I'm about to go take a few shots. That's about it, though.
Isn't it kind of early for shots?
No.
It's never too early for shots.
Never. I'm going to take shots until there's death!
We could call this the death episode, but death is kind of depressing.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. You have to clip that, though, so I can put that out there.
In spite of death, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.